were some good signs in the game last night of the bats coming to life.
Yeah, very simple formula. You got to outscore the opposition. That's a good thing to do. But, last night the offense with Reimold and Jones and Wieters all going deep, real good sign for this offense. And also this offense, as many times it came back in last night's game, another good sign.
Every team has their go-to players, and Adam Jones is certainly becoming a consistent player in the Orioles lineup. He's manning the number 3 spot in the lineup. Normally that spot goes to the best hitter on the team. And looking at Adam's numbers this year versus his career, he is on pace for career highs in every category. His batting average is right on, 52 RBIs. He should easily pass his career high of 70, only 5 home runs shy of his career high, and just 1 assist shy. And that's the one thing about Adam Jones. He gives it to you at the plate, and he gives it to you in the field.
Yeah, he's a multi-dimensional player. He's really become the center focus. He's doing it with the bat last night, 4th 3 RBI game of the season. He's done it with his legs along the way, also with his glove. And you could add in his arm. So it was the glove last night, too. Outstanding defensive play. Again, among the league leaders in assists in the outfield. And he's been a very heady player and really has bought into Buck Showalter and playing the intensity of every out.
Now, of course, talking about outscoring your opponent to win a game, that helps when the starter can give you a chance, and Alfredo Simon goes to the mound tonight. Alfredo has never won a game as a starter in limited chances. The Orioles would certainly have it help if he could step up big tonight.
Yeah, therein lies the problem. He has great stuff. It just hasn't translated to being a starter yet. He'll get another chance tonight. Had a start against the Red Sox. Didn't get any run support, so it's hard to tell how he's going to do. We'll see how good his stuff is tonight.
Yeah, the Orioles starters have gone now 15 consecutive starts without picking up a win. It's the Orioles and Indians. Gorgeous night for baseball here at the ballpark. Stay with us. Lineups at first pitch chart coming up next. Orioles baseball on Masson is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Southwest Airlines' new Rapid Rewards, unlimited reward seats, and no blackout dates. What a beautiful day and night in the Inner Harbor as the Orioles get set to take on the Indians. Tonight's game time temperature is brought to you by Train. Visit Train.com for an independent Train comfort specialist dealer near you. It's hard to stop a train. 86 degrees, and that humidity starting to creep up a little bit, up to 34%, as the Orioles and Indians play nighttime baseball before tomorrow's afternoon finale. Let's get a look at the Southwest Airlines starting lineups for the Indians. Michael Brantley in that leadoff spot. Big series against the O's, 5 out of 10 in the first 2 games. He has scored 3 times and driven in a run. Then as Drupal Cabrera and Travis Hafner, Carlos Santana plays first base tonight. Lonnie Chisenhall, who had the game-winning hit last night, moves up to number 5. Then Orlando Cabrera, Austin Kearns in right, Lou Marson in center, and the rookie Ezekiel Carrera in center field batting ninth.
Let's take a look at the scouting report tonight for Alfredo Simon. Now, use that split. Lefties hitting .354 with a couple of home runs off of Alfredo. And the first 5 hitters in his Indian lineup will hit from the left side. Break the streak. Simple as that. The Orioles have lost 9 in a row. He has a chance to break the streak tonight and bring the ERA down. He's only pitched a third of an inning against the Indians, and that was when he was a closer. Allowed 4 earned runs, so that's the ERA of 108. So he'll try to bring that down significantly tonight.
And the Orioles need a good start, a deep start. And even though you and I are not a fan of the definition of the quality start, at this point the Orioles would take that.
Take it.
3 runs in 6 innings, and their strike 1 to Michael Brantley.
That certainly would take both of those tonight.
And there's a liner towards the gap in left center field. PA on the run, and it curves back to him, and he's got it for the out. So PA runs it down, 1 away in the first.
Let's take a look at the defense. Matt Wieters last night, outstanding throwing arm, outstanding defensive catcher. Let's take a look at our Nissan defense tonight. Felix PA will be in left, Jones in center, Markakis in right, Reynolds and Hardy on the left side, Blake Davis getting the start at second base, Derek Lee at first, Matt Wieters behind the plate. It's Nissan Bottom Line Sales Event, and we're laying it all on the line. Visit ChooseNissan.com or your local dealer today.
As Dribble Cabrera fouls it off, 0-1.
Again, Simon is really going to have to pay attention to the first 5 hitters in this lineup. Red hot and all having a great series.
And another breaking ball, pulled foul. Well, as Dribble Cabrera having a good series in each of the first 2 games, 2 for 5. And last night he had a big 2-run home run off Jake Arrieta after the Orioles had taken the lead. Cabrera gave it right back to the Indians. And there's a fly ball to left. PA back now stops. And 2 away in the first inning.
Yeah, so far it's been pitch him away, play him away. A couple of nice fly balls to left. And also being very pitch efficient. All 5 pitches so far by Simon strikes.
Alfredo has faced the Indians once in his career, and it was when he was the closer of the Orioles. And in his only appearance against the Indians, he was charged with a blown save. He allowed 4 runs in just a third of an inning, and that's his entire career against the Indians. Here's Travis Hafner, the DH, and he takes a strike. So Simon going right at the hitters.
Well, like I said, lowering that ERA dramatically. Had been 108 at that third of an inning and 4 earned runs, so already coming down fast.
And the breaking ball is high, 1-1. Of course, the Oriole pitching has really struggled as of late. And among all the things we've been talking about, of course, the biggest is 15 straight starts by starters without a win. Definitely, it's difficult to compete when your starters can't get it done. Hafner takes side 2-1. But the other thing, Mike, and this involves the entire pitching staff, the Orioles have allowed 10 or more hits now in 10 consecutive games. And in those 10 games, a total of 128 base hits. That's just too many base runners.
That's just way too many opportunities for the opposition to score.
2-1 pitch, bounce right back to the mound. Simon gloves it, and he'll toss it to first. And a very good start for Simon as the Indians go 3 up, 3 down. Cleveland can't score. We go to the bottom of the first, and here come the Birds. Starting lineup, J.J. Hardy, Nick Markakis, and Adam Jones, with Matt Wieters again in the cleanup spot. Then Derek Lee and Mark Reynolds. Felix P.A. left, Nolan Reimold DHs. And Blake Davis at second base will bat ninth. .421 on base percentage in 8 games in July.
With the scouting report for Carlos Carrasco tonight. Certainly roadkill. 5-1 record on the road, an ERA of 2.59. That is the 4th best ERA on the road in the league. Left is right. Left-handers he has problems with. .315 average and 7 of the 10 home runs allowed. And the last one is Give Me 5. Only Justin Verlander and CC Sabathia have more wins than Carrasco going back from May 17th. He's had 7 wins in that time.
Gets ahead of Hardy 0-1. And Hardy lays off high. 1-1 the count. JJ at 275. He's in a bit of a slump. Last 7 games, just 4 for his last 28. Part of what he's going through is the notoriety of his prior success. And he hits it to right field. On the run is Austin Kearns. Not going to get it. Bounces by him and against the wall. Plays the count perfectly. Hardy trying for 2. Here's the throw. He is safe at second base. He got his foot in, and Cabrera dropped the ball anyway. So J.J. Hardy, a hustle double, and he's at second leading off in the bottom of the first.
And not sure he's going to make this off the bat as well as they played it in right field. 15th double of the year. Fastball up and out over the plate. Hardy goes right with it. Right here played well. Throw maybe just a little bit offline. Very close play.
J.J. Hardy picks up his 15th double on the year, and he's in scoring position leading off the bottom of the first. And here comes Nick Markakis. Markakis has an 8-game hitting streak taking into tonight's game. Chance to give the Orioles an early lead. And down and away, 1-0. Of course, Markakis last night reached the milestone with his 1,000th career hit. 292 batting average now for Markakis. During his current hitting streak of 8 in a row, he has 9 base hits. He's been very steady over the past 8 games. Carrasco checking Hardy. And the pitch down and in 2-0. And here's the milestone base hit last night. His 1,000th career hit.
Choking up on the bat. It gets a breaking ball. Splits the infielders. Clean single to right.
And there's the souvenir baseball as Bob Davidson, last night's home plate umpire, flipped the ball to Buck Showalter. Nick was so modest about the milestone last night. First base coach Wayne Kirby told me today that he couldn't get Markakis to tip his helmet. The fans were giving a big ovation, but he's so modest and didn't want to tip it. So Wayne Kirby tipped his for Nick, which I thought was great. If somebody was going to tip a helmet.
Yeah, DHing for him.
Meantime, it's 3-0, and Mike was talking about Markakis choking up on the bat, and that's something new for Nick. You see he's choking up on the bat, and he looks over a strike, 3-1. Of course, when you choke up, you have better back control, but what you might sacrifice is a little bit of power. So that's a choice that a hitter needs to make, but you can see he's about 2 inches up, choking up on that bat.
Looks like a fresh bat. Maybe that one that registered the 1,000th hit, maybe that one's in the trophy case.
3-1 on Markakis. A high fly ball to left field, chasing Brantley back, still going back. Hardy's going to tag. Brantley runs it down. Hardy's heading towards third base, and he'll make it to third. So Markakis sent it a long way. Brantley had to go back to the warning track, and Nick does his job. He advances Hardy to third with 1 down.
Let's take a look at the Nissan defense tonight for the Cleveland Indians. Brantley in left just made that nice play. Carrera in center. Kearns will play right field. Chisenhall will play third. Asdrubal Carrera will play second. Orlando Cabrera will play second. Santana at first. And Lou Marson will be behind the plate tonight. Carlos Carrasco made 17 starts, about an 8-6 record. Power arm, 93, 95, 101 innings, just about a hit per inning. He is what they say is a stuff pitcher.
There's Adam Jones, who had a big night last night, now has 14 home runs on the year. He hit it a long way to center field and tied the game for the Orioles. And down and away, 1-0. He also had a 3 RBI night, so now Adam with 12 multi-RBI games on the year, and of course leads the Orioles with 52 ribbies. Mark Reynolds also has 12. Then Nick Markakis with 9 and Matt Wieters with 7 multi-RBI games. Of course, Adrian Gonzalez of the Red Sox, who will be here Monday, continues to lead the American League in runs driven in. But Adam Jones and Mark Reynolds somewhat consistent on the year in driving in runs.
Yeah, Adam has really been very consistent in carrying the offensive load in the middle of the lineup. Looks like he'll surpass the RBI and the home run totals of last year.
2-0 is fouled back, 2-1. Carrasco was one of the 4 players the Indians got back when they traded Cliff Lee to the Phillies. And that has proven to be, a couple of years later, a very good trade. Manny Acta inherited the players that the Indians got. But the battery here tonight, Carrasco and Lou Marson, both came to the Indians in that trade. The 2-1 pitch is outside ball 3. They also got Jason Donald, who would be on the team. He's in AAA because he got hurt right before the season began. He was hit by a pitch in spring training. And then in AAA, he hurt his knee. So he was on the team last year, played 88 games. So he would be here if not for the injury problems. 3-1 pitch, high fly ball center field, playable there for Carrera. Hardy will tag. Here comes Hardy towards the plate. Here comes the throw, and it's not in time. It is a sac fly and an RBI for Adam Jones, and the Orioles get the lead. So Adam picks up his 53rd ribby.
Yeah, good sign getting on the board early. Not much of a throw from center field. J.J. Hardy scores easily, so the Orioles are on the board first. Another good sign.
So Adam gets the run in. That was a real good team situational hitting way to get that run in. The leadoff double, Markakis got on the third with a fly ball, and Jones got him in with a fly ball. So they do that in batting practice every day. Get him over, get him in. The Orioles just did it. Now 2 downers, Matt Wieters in that cleanup spot. And he hits it to left field, chasing Brantley back, and he'll get there, and he has it for the out. So the ball carrying that way tonight. And Wieters skies out to end it. Birds get a run. We'll head to the second. 1-0 Orioles. For every double play the Orioles turn during the game tonight, Shirley wins $1,000 from the Maryland Lottery. Now you can enter 2 great scratch-offs for a chance to win. To see how you can turn non-winning double play or amazing 8 scratch-offs into cash or amazing Oriole prizes, go to mdlottery.com/double play. We go to the second. Simone now has a 1-0 lead. Retire the side in order in the first. They'll go to work on the switch hitter Carlos Santana. And the breaking ball for a strike 0-1. So Simone, Mike, is doing a real good job of getting ahead of these hitters.
Throwing strike one, he's already established. He's getting his breaking ball over. Good fastball with movement and a game plan.
Leaders put down the same fingers, same pitch, same result, and it's 0-2. And a weak ground ball on a broken bat to first. Derek Lee will flip to Simone, who gets to the bag, and one away here in the second inning. Simone has struggled against left-handers on the year. They're batting .354, and Maniacta does have 6 left-handed batters in the lineup, but it could be worse because in the first 2 games he had 7. So he's resting Travis Buck and Grady Sizemore tonight. He replaced Sizemore with a left-handed batter, but he replaced Buck with a right-handed batter.
And really has 6 in a row if you consider Ezekiel Carrera at the bottom of the lineup, a left-handed hitter. So when that flips over, there will be 6 in a row.
And here is one of those lefties, Lonnie Chisenhall, the third baseman, who had the game-winning hit last night. His base hit off Jim Johnson drove in the tie-breaking run.
Who has been impressive.
The Indians were asking a lot of questions about Simone before the game because they remember him as a reliever. There's a bloop towards short. Hardy's right there, and 2-0. And they were wondering, like, well, what's he doing starting? You know, isn't he a back end of the bullpen guy? They had no idea about it.
Well, he really didn't know the need.
Well, don't forget the Orioles and Indians wrapping up the 4-game series tomorrow, 1:35. So gather up your family and friends and enjoy a nice summer afternoon daytime baseball here at Oriole Park. For your tickets, call the O's 888-848-BIRD or just go online, Orioles.com. Hitters are so concerned. Oh, I don't know about this guy. What about his stuff? What does he throw? What about this? There's a line drive to center field. Jones charging in. He'll get there. And Alfredo Simone is making it look easy. 6 up, 6 down, mid-second at Camden Yards. Hey, there's the Babe. 1-0 O's. Luna. Home runs by shortstops in the American League as Drupal Cabrera leading the pack at 16, right behind J.J. Hardy, who is tied with Johnny Peralta of the Tigers at 13. And that's a coincidence because Peralta was an Indian. They traded him to Detroit, and the guy that replaced him is leading him in home runs. Yunel Escobar and Alexi Ramirez of the White Sox. So J.J. Hardy really doing a good job for the Orioles, and they're on the verge of that 3-year contract extension as Derek Lee takes inside. There's a matter of a physical, which might sound strange to some fans, saying, well, he's playing tonight, why does he need a physical? But it has to do with insurance and things like that.
Guarantee of the contract. Anytime subject to a club and insurance physical. Very extensive physical.
There's the 1-1 pitch. It's high. And Carrasco, we're talking about that Cliff Lee trade. That was a 4 for 2. The Indians got 4. Cliff Lee and Ben Francisco, who's still with the Phillies, went to the Phillies. It was a year before Cliff Lee could become a free agent. But the 4 players that the Indians got back, the player who was considered the real prime prospect back, Jason Knapp, he's an A-ball and unfortunately just underwent shoulder surgery. But the good news about that is he's only 19 years old. And he was the player that at the time was holding up the deal because the Phillies, he apparently throws mid-90s. And the Phillies didn't want to give him up. And the Indians said, well, if you want Cliff Lee, he's in the deal or you don't get Cliff Lee. And it ended up being the 4 for 2. So sometimes these trades, it takes a couple of years before all the pieces that you see end up helping you at the big league level. Cabrera at short gets Lee 1 down. You know, a lot of times you'll hear about, well, you know, the Orioles certainly will get phone calls over the next couple of weeks. The Orioles not in contention, and there are some players here. But the question is, how do you value your players versus what the rest of baseball does? And are you better off keeping that player or trading the player for what you might get back?
Yeah, that's always what's interesting. I guess, again, knowing your own players, you should know your team better than anybody. I mean, that's pretty obvious. But by the same token, other clubs value players differently. I mean, that's one of the interesting things when you go through sort of a trading type of a deal, which you think is maybe the cornerstone, like you're talking about Knapp with the Phillies deal. And they may have been happy to give him up.
Swing and a miss, 1-1 on Reynolds.
You know, one of those guys that lights up the radar gun and looks good, and okay, if that's what it takes to get the deal done, then we'll do it. But you're right, you just don't know. You try to get as many close to major league ready players as you can, and obviously in that deal they did a good job.
And a bouncer foul. The other thing that teams do look at in terms of trading partners, there are only so many teams that are legitimate contenders. So if you're a team like the Orioles that will get the phone calls, what you need to do then is look at those organizations and say, okay, where's their surplus? Where's the guy who might be blocked in AAA? Where's the guy that can help us who can't get to the big leagues because of another player? And Reynolds goes down on strikes and 2 away. Good fastball he couldn't reach.
Let's take a look at this 1-2 pitch. Mark Reynolds up and out over the zone. 96. Again, Carrasco does have a power arm.
You know, a couple of weeks ago when Cincinnati was here talking to some of the Reds people, well, the Reds are in contention in the NL Central, which is really a race that's totally up for grabs. Well, there's a player in AAA that the Orioles probably would like, Yonder Alonso, who's blocked at first base by Joey Votto. So the Reds have him in AAA learning to play the outfield because he's not going to replace Joey Votto, who was the MVP in the National League last year.
Yeah, so you really do look for the depth. I guess I always think back to the Toronto Blue Jays when they had Delgado, then they had Fred McGriff, then they had Cecil Fielder, they had Willie Upshaw. I'm missing one out of McGriff. But at one time they had backed up all these great first basemen, and that's who they ended up trading off to get what they needed. But you're right. You try to find that out. You try to go through all the organizations, see who's backed up, and try to make a deal.
1-1 on PA, batting with 2 outs and nobody on.
If you're trading with a team in contention, they're not going to give you anything off their major league roster. It just makes sense that they wouldn't want to do that if they think they're going to the postseason, just to make a deal.
So that's where scouts like Bruce Keeson in the Orioles organization, who sees other teams, not only major league team, but AAA and AA and teams, scouts like that become so important come the trade deadline.
Yeah, you target organizations who have inquired, and you go through player by player.
There's a bloop out near second base, and the second baseman Orlando Cabrera grabs it, and the Orioles go 3 up, 3 down. We played 2 at Camden Yards, and a 1-0 Orioles lead. limited reward seats and no blackout dates. And by Navy Federal Credit Union. A loan from Navy Federal Credit Union makes car buying easy. Visit NavyFederal.org to calculate your payment. Nice day and night here in Baltimore, and fans gathered in, hoping the Orioles can win. Alfredo Simon gets a fastball by Austin Kearns, 0-1. 6 up and 6 down. Retired by Simon, who has thrown 14 strikes and 2 balls in his first 16 pitches. And because I said that, he threw one down and away.
But as they say, that is a good habit to get into. Throw strikes, get ahead, and it really becomes clear what the correct pitch is.
And that's low ball 2. I mean, we have no idea. We know he's leaving the team after the game today to go back to the Dominican Republic because of his legal issues, and he will be placed on the restricted list. Buck Showalter confirmed that before the game. And a swing and a miss. But you have to wonder, like, his mental state tonight, knowing that he's going back home for a legal matter, and what might become of that.
Yeah, I mean, let us say it's a serious legal matter.
Exactly.
You know, this is not for parking tickets.
2-2 on Kearns. And he got him. Good sweeping breaking ball. Down and away. First strikeout, 1 away.
Yeah, changing the arm angle a little bit by Alfredo Simon. I think he's seen a lot of those Cleveland Indian relievers use this pitch so effectively the first couple of games of the series.
One down. Here's Lou Marson, the catcher. And the curveball breaks in there for a strike. Marson's first appearance in this series. And that one's down and away, 1-1. We've seen the Indians, especially their relievers in this series, do a real good job getting ahead with strikes to get hitters out with balls out of the strike zone, and Simon is definitely following that tonight. Easy fly ball to center field and 2 men down. When we mentioned J.J. Hardy and the Orioles have agreed in principle to a 3-year contract extension, and before the game, J.J. was asked why he wants to stay with the Orioles.
You know, there is some potential, and I feel like this team's a lot better than what we've been doing the last, couple weeks. But I like challenges as well as being, competitive. I feel like it's definitely a big challenge, to turn this whole organization around. And if I can help be a part of that, then great.
And you know what? Having heard that, get me 5 guys like him, and we're on to something. He wants to be here, and he wants the challenge of making it better. That's what you want.
And it's like from the Orioles side of the coin, I guess I always look at it, what is a good pitch? A good pitch is anything that is hit in the direction of J.J. Hardy. When you're a pitcher, you want the ball to go in his direction. I think he's solid, he is consistent, he is reliable.
1-1 on Ezekiel Carrera. And that one's a little high, 2-1. Carrera, a 24-year-old rookie out of Venezuela. I think the Indians organization leads the league in players from Venezuela. It's amazing how many players they've either developed or traded for that are natives of that country. 2-1 pitches, strike 2-2. Now, Carrera, he was part of that big trade in 2008, that 3-team, 11-player trade with the Mets, Indians, and Seattle. But he went from the Mets to Seattle in that trade. And then it was 2 years later, Seattle traded him to Cleveland. So he's 24 years old. He's only been in the big leagues for 7 games this year, and he's already been involved in 2 different trades with the Indians.
Yeah, what is there? But maybe 2 players in the lineup that are really. Austin Kearns is a free agent signed. I guess Chisenthal and that's it. And Hafner was a trade.
Right. He was from Texas. That's right. Just inside ball 3. Brantley was from Milwaukee. As Dribble Cabrera, he came from Seattle. Hafner Texas. Santana was a Dodger. Isn't always drafted. Cabrera's been with everybody.
Right.
Kearns was number 1 pitcher, Cincinnati. Right. Marson was with the Phillies, and Carrera. Yeah, so 8 of the 9 in trades. And the 3-2 swung on and missed. He got him. He challenged him, came right at him, and Carrera couldn't reach it. So 9 up, 9 down as Simone has retired the side. Bottom of the third coming up, 1-0 O's. Electronic devices. And David Price, who surrendered the pitch that Derek Jeter hit out for his 3,000th hit, apparently he signed a marketing deal for collectibles with Jeter. So he's about to profit from being on the mound for Jeter getting his 3,000th hit. So is that good or bad?
Well, I could have given up. I could have made a lot of money, I guess, marketing home runs, and I gave up to other players.
So what are we saying? Is that good or bad?
Yeah,
it's different.
It doesn't. It is different. Can't say that I've ever. You said most times players are trying not to give up the 3,000th hit, or not to try to give up a memorable home run for the maybe the negativity that's attached to it forever.
Reimold, 1-1 the count. There's a bouncer towards third foul. Well, back in my other life, when I did CBS games, I worked quite often with Al Downing. In any city we would go to, he was asked about the Hank Aaron home run, number 715.
How did he feel about it?
He felt like, you know what? I was there, I threw it, and Hank Aaron's a Hall of Famer, so okay, if you want to talk about it, we'll talk about it. But he didn't profit from it. He just was the guy that threw the pitch.
He just gave it up.
Yeah. There's the 1-2 to Reimold outside. But the Girardi thing is kind of interesting because the Yankees, well, they tend to complain a little bit.
I would agree with that.
The question is, are the Blue Jays that adept at electronics? And Reimold goes down on strikes, swing and a miss, and one away in the third. That they can actually steal signs by doing something somewhere.
I'm not buying it. I mean, I know the Blue Jays. I played for that organization, and they were notorious for giving signs from second base. They really felt there was an advantage. The thing is, the team would have to buy into that. You're going to have to trust somebody, whether he's putting a light on the scoreboard, that's going to be the correct signal or the correct pitch. You really have to buy in and trust that. And frankly, not many players do. Now, giving location from second base or maybe a sign, a lot more players would buy into that. So as far as it being electronic equipment, who is giving those signs would be the first thing that the players would ask.
Blake Davis to left center field, and there's Brantley cutting in front of Carrera for the out, 2 down. Well, my simple suggestion to the Yankees would be, if they think the Blue Jays are stealing signs, change your signs.
Well, what they do is they went to multiple signs, but frankly, what that does, it slows the game down. But there's this thought in the back of your mind sometimes when a team, they'll hit a 2-0 changeup and be right on it for a home run. Kind of sends off these little signals that something may be gone. Somebody may be tipping pitches, but believe me, it's a very difficult thing to do, and you'd really have to trust the person giving you those signs.
Here's J.J. Hardy, 2 outs, nobody on, takes ball 1. J.J. got the Orioles going in the first with a leadoff double. He has been the game's only base runner. He moved to third on a fly ball by Markakis, scored on a sac fly by Adam Jones. And there's a strike inside corner that time.
I guess I'm kind of continuing that thought. Players will trust their own. Eddie Murray was very good at picking up something that an opposing pitcher would do, whether it would be sometimes it's as simple as taking a deep breath before they would throw a fastball. And other players wouldn't want it. Matter of fact, I know Cal Ripken never wanted it. He said, anybody want the signs? Anybody want to know what the pitch is? And a lot of hitters don't want that in the back of their mind.
That's interesting that you say that about Cal, because he was probably the best at stealing signs, and yet he didn't want to know.
They did it. A lot of hitters just didn't want to trust it. I mean, I look back, Mike Mussina, he would really puff his cheeks on every changeup. I often wondered why other clubs didn't pick up on it. You know, he had a nice, straight, relaxed face until he threw a changeup, and then he puffed his cheeks on a changeup for whatever reason. I remember Frank Viola would take a big, deep breath before a fastball, but not on any other pitch. I mean, talk about an early warning system. We did use that to our advantage.
2-2 is outside, ball 3, so back-to-back close pitches. Hardy gets the calls, and the count runs full.
In fact, one time it was kind of funny during the game is that the Red Sox, when they had Marty Barrett at second base and Dwight Evans in right field, Evans in right field wanted to know what the pitches were, his team was throwing, so Marty Barrett would relay to Dwight Evans. His fist open was a fastball, fist closed was a changeup.
Check swing, he went too far, as Brian Knight said that Hardy didn't check, so Carrasco has a second consecutive 3-up, 3-down inning. Fourth inning coming, 1-0 O's. Players and coaches' wives, as well as volunteers from the Oriole Advocates and on-air personalities from WJZ-TV are at each gate collecting any non-perishable food item or cash donation. Now, all of the donated food will be given to the Maryland Food Bank to distribute to soup kitchens, food pantries, or emergency shelters throughout our state. Now, for more information, call the Orioles, 888-848-BIRD, or visit OriolesReach.com. And here is Michael Brantley leading off for the Indians as we go to the fourth, as Drupal Cabrera and Travis Hafner will follow. 1-0 O's on the sac fly by Adam Jones in the first inning. And there's a strike, and it's 0-2.
Yeah, doing a great job of getting ahead. Throwing strikes, the key to success. 32 pitches, only 8 balls thrown by Simone.
And a line drive to left, and that'll fall for a base hit. So his first hit allowed comes on an 0-2 pitch leading off here in the fourth inning. And this date in baseball history brought to you by Verizon Fios. Switch to Fios, a network ahead. To learn more, visit Fios.com. Get Fios. On this date in 1897, Mike Flanagan's former teammate Cap Anson, at age 45 of the Colts, who became the Cubs, first player 3,000 hits in big league history. 69, Twins Rod Carew tied Pete Reeser's record, his 7th steal of home in one season. And in 2010, Benji Molina, the 8th player to hit for a cycle that included a grand slam. And it took him a little while to get around the bases.
Yes, instead of a photo finish, a oil painting.
Benji wasn't fleet of foot. And he technically hasn't retired, although he was asked around the All-Star break.
That's how slow he is.
Yeah. He's going to even take his time for that. There's Asdrubal Cabrera, tying run out at first, none down. And it's outside, 1-0. The base hits on 0-2 pitches. Buck Showalter was talking about it last night as he met with the media before the game, and again tonight, are the types of pitches that he says really pitchers on this team have to do a better job of locating. And he said, if you throw a pitch and the guy, throws his bat at it and he bloops it in somewhere, that's all right, because, that'll happen. It's baseball. You made a good pitch and they hit it. But if you miss your spot and help the hitter out on 0-2, that's on you.
Yeah, really is using the count to your advantage the appropriate way. I mean, you're right. He singled out the Laporta at bat last night.
Hard hit ball. Derek Lee has it. He goes to second for one. Back to first. Simone is in there in time, and he got the double play. Wow, J.J. Hardy threw to a moving target, and Simone was able to glove it and get to the bag ahead of Cabrera. Nicely done all around, and 2 men down.
Again, Lee and Simone about the same height, about 6'6", 6'7". Accurate throw. Now watch Hardy take his time, give him an accurate high throw in time to catch the ball and find the base.
And the Orioles turn 2. Congratulations to Shirley Schweitzer of Great Mills. She has won $1,000 from the Maryland Lottery Double Play Contest. So that erases the base runner. 2 down for Travis Hafner. That is an accurate arm where you're firing it towards the base, but you're firing it towards a player who's moving. Hardy led Alfredo Simone perfectly as he got to the base in stride. Slice foul out of play, 1-1 on Hafner. Bounce back to the mound, his first at bat. Career leaders batting average against the Orioles. Hafner has passed Ichiro Suzuki. I didn't think that would ever happen.
Possible.
366 to 355. Ellsbury will be here Monday. There's Marty Barrett. Mike was just talking about him, and Carlos Guillen. Badly fooled by that pitch, and he swings and misses 1-2.
I've really seen some funny swings out of the Indians at that split finger, something we talked about at the Open, that he would need to use against these Indian left-handed hitters, and he has done it very effectively so far.
2 outs, nobody on. 1-2 on Hafner, who requests time and steps out. Simone's in such a groove, he wants to keep working quickly. And he got him. Swung on and missed. There's strikeout number 3. And after a leadoff single, a 4th consecutive 3-batter inning. Simone is in command, and the Orioles have a 1-0 lead. on the line. Visit ChooseNissan.com or visit your local dealer today. What a lovely night as Eddie brings us in from center field, peeking over the bullpens. Here's Nick Markakis leading off for the Orioles as we go to the bottom of the fourth. Nick helped get a run in the first. He takes down and in, 1-0. Nick flied out to left field with Hardy at second, but he hit it deep enough so Hardy could tag and get the third, where he then scored on a fly ball by Jones. And there's a high strike taken, 1-1. Carrasco, just 24 years old, his third season. This is his first appearance ever against the Orioles. And a line drive to right. On the run is Kearns. He's not going to get it. It gets down for a base hit, and it gets all the way to the wall. And Markakis pulls in with a leadoff double. Kearns took a strange angle to that ball, as if he didn't read it off the bat, and by the time he realized, it got by him.
Yeah, I think it carried much better than he thought. Inside half, Markakis right down and on a line to right center field, and again, Kearns cutting across right there. He realizes he's taken the wrong route.
And our Dodge Ram Exmo, brought to you by Ram Trucks, designed, tested, and proven to be the best trucks we've ever built. Ram. So Nick extends his hitting streak to 9 in a row, picks up his 12th double. And he's at second base with nobody down for Adam Jones.
I think that's hitting in 30 of the last 32. He really has been amazingly consistent.
Somehow a baseball got loose from the stands. Bob Davidson, the third base umpire, had to go pick it up.
Probably called a balk.
He called a balk on the fan. So Adam Jones, a chance for another RBI. He takes down and away, 1-0. And Marson now out in front of the mound to say something to Carlos Carrasco. Tonight's league leaders brought to you by Lexus of Towson, Baltimore area's #1 Lexus dealer, who invites you to come and see why they're #1. RBIs by American League outfielders. Adam Jones is fourth. Granderson, Cruz, and Frank Core, the only 3 outfielders leading Adam Jones and ribbies. And a tapper, and that stays foul. Adam Jones is really becoming a team leader, and it's interesting to watch him day in and day out, because he doesn't want the label of being team leader. He doesn't want people, throwing that at him. But with his teammates, he very much is a team leader, because he does it verbally and vocally, and he's always in a good mood. And it's a really good trait, because it rubs off on his teammates.
Yeah, he has a little bit of that swagger.
There's a chopper towards third. Chisenhall comes in on it, throws to first to get Jones, but he does his job. Markakis moves to third with 1 down. Like today, I was asking Adam, because he was bragging about in the first group when the Orioles hit, he always leaves out the shortstop. He does it every day, and he says he does that because he wants to keep his hands good for outfield play. And of course, he came up as a shortstop, and I said, well, how much as a pro did you play? He goes, A-ball and AA. It wasn't until AAA where the Mariners thought, the way this guy can hit and run, maybe he's a better outfielder. But he was bragging to his teammate, but he was engaging him in the conversation. And apparently he robbed Tatum of a base hit while he was at shortstop today. but you really like that. You like the fact that they get along, and verbally and then he encouraged him. He said, come on, go this way, go that way. It was really good to observe, and how much they all like Adam Jones.
Well, and he was showing the catchers how to catch today.
Matt Wieters, a bouncer to first. That won't get Markakis in. Santana goes to the bag, and 2 men are down. Well, if you're a superstar, you could do it all.
But they had him working on his footwork and release. I think it'd be a little bit different, though, if you have to go back there during the game with the mask and the equipment on.
Yeah, I would hope he's not the emergency catcher.
It's a lot of times when the everyday players think about being a pitcher, then they get on the mound without a screen, and it's a little bit different. But it is refreshing.
Yeah, I think it's fair to say that Markakis is probably the leader on this team, but he does it by his example of how he plays. He is not a guy that's going to go out there and talk. And then, of course, Matt Wieters this year is blossoming as a team leader, in particular because of the position he plays. There's Derek Lee, and it's a strike. So you really have 3 young players who are the core of this team that all lead in different ways.
Well, and you want certainly strength up the middle. We talk about Wieters and now Hardy signing on, and Adam Jones in center field. That's where you want to be. You want to be strong right up the middle.
There's the 0-1 to Lee. It's too tight. Ball and a strike.
I think there's it's a great Oriole tradition of shortstops. You go back probably starting with Belanger for about 17 or 18 years, Ripken for 20 years, and then certainly Mike Bordick, another great defensive shortstop. Now I think you can add Hardy to that list.
Yep. And a big reason for why you would want to give him a 3-year deal is because you don't have anyone in your system who is near ready in that time frame.
Yeah, and I know Buck Showalter said he reminds me a lot of Mark Belanger. Mark Belanger had one of the more accurate throwing arms of any shortstop I had ever seen.
1-2 on Lee. Line drive left field. Base hit for Derek Lee. A huge 2-out single, and Markakis scores. So Derek Lee delivers on a 1-2 pitch, and the Orioles have a 2-0 lead.
And nice hitting, a 1-2 pitch. Getting behind the count and hits a mistake. Slider in the middle of the plate. But bringing in the big 2-out base hit. I'm sure Buck Showalter saying about time the other clubs started making some mistakes in this kind of position.
Derek Lee on at first with his 30th RBI. Each inning a leadoff double has turned into a run for the Orioles. Reynolds now swings through it on 1.
And that really is the book on Carrasco. He can make some great pitches, and he'll leave some breaking balls spinning in the middle of the plate.
You know, in our talk about J.J. Hardy, neither Mike or I are forgetting about Manny Machado. But Manny's 19 in A-ball. And until Manny is ready and shows that he's ready for this level, you need somebody to man that position. And J.J. Hardy is a proven, effective shortstop, both with the glove and with the bat. So that's a big signing for the Orioles.
He is a proven commodity. I mean, he's proven it to us certainly day in and day out.
And if Machado gets here sooner than you think, that's a good problem.
Don't worry about that when it happens. That would be a pleasant problem to have. It would be too much talent. To me, J.J. Hardy's the right age and the prime of his career.
Lee on at first with 2 down, 1-2 on Reynolds, who struck out his first at bat. He was second in the league in strikeouts, trailing Adam Dunn of the White Sox. There's a high fly ball to left, chasing Brantley back, and that one's over his head, and it bounces against the wall. Derek Lee is being sent by Willie Randolph. There will be a play at the plate. Here comes the throw. He is out at the plate on a perfect relay to Lou Marson. So Willie Randolph with 2 men down tried to get Lee in there, and the Indians with a perfect relay to end the inning. Orioles do get a run on the Derek Lee RBI single. We're through 4 at Camden Yards, 2-0 O's.
Fastball to the number of the Cleveland left-handers, which have really had a great offensive series. So really taking control of this game early. Establishing that fastball splitter was imperative.
Well, Alfredo Simon against the Indians, 4 innings, just 1 hit. And that base runner raced on a double play and 3 strikeouts, 40 pitches in 4 innings. That is a real good ratio. There's a weak pop up to third off the bat of Santana. And right there is Mark Reynolds and 1 away. Fans, the Orioles take on the Red Sox here at Camden Yards next week. It's a 3-game series running Monday through Wednesday. And on Tuesday, don't miss Ali Bargain Night, all presented by Ollie's Bargain Outlet, as the upper reserve seats just $9. For your tickets, 888-848-BIRD or visit Orioles.com. Fans love that Ollie's Bargain Night. Get a nice discounted ticket, get to see the game. Nice Tuesday night at the ball yard. There's a slap foul, Lonnie Chisenhall. By the way, Machado, who left the game last night with that hip thing, he's okay, but he's not in the lineup tonight. They're giving him a night off. So he is cleared to play. So the Keys tonight have Jonathan Scope at shortstop. And that young man is really proving to be versatile, because he's a shortstop except when Machado's there. And they have to move him, but he can play third. They believe they might be able to try him in the outfield. He's a real good baseball player. From Curacao.
Well, obviously on your resume you want to have, flexibility. You can play a number of positions, make yourself an asset.
Weak ground ball to second. Blake Davis gets him first and 2 quick outs.
This is what really Buck Showalter needed. Certainly was for a starter to step up. Like Derek Lee still moving a little gingerly after that play at the plate. They talked a lot about the collisions and the result with the catchers too. You got to remember that the runners too are in some jeopardy in those home plate collisions.
Ball 1 to Orlando Cabrera, and there's a strike. Masson is giving away 30 prizes in 30 days, including signed jerseys and other Orioles gear. All you have to do is visit Facebook.com/MassonOrioles to win. Mike loves doing the Facebook.
I got to say, I'm not a real big Facebook guy.
Do you tweet?
No. And I don't intend to.
No tweets, no Facebook?
No.
Nope. So you're like me, you like to actually talk to people.
Well, that's yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, I don't do the Facebook or the tweets, the Twitter. But if you do, Masson does it. They have a lot of friends.
Well, there's a lot of information. That's a way to get information
stuff
out there. I just, from a personal matter, it's.
Swing and miss by Cabrera. How about Simone? He's got 4 strikeouts, and through 5 shutout innings, he's allowed only a single. Mid-5th, 2-0 O's. the game about the need for a starter to step forward. Alfredo Simon has done that. In the first 2 games in this series, the Orioles pitchers had a total of 7 3-batter innings. He has 5 in a row to begin the game.
Yeah, he has really dominated. You could see right out of the chute in the first couple of innings he had his best stuff, and he's really used it extremely well to get through the first 5, and just really an easy ride so far.
Yeah, the Orioles very good situational hitting in this game. Leadoff double in 2 innings, get him the 3rd, and Lee's big 2-out base hit got that extra run.
Yeah, those big 2-out base hits, it's happened so much to the Orioles over the course of the year, but tonight they're doing it to the Indians. You have to feel they had probably a big inning coming.
So the Orioles have a 2-0 lead. Batting here in the bottom of the 5th, you see Felix Pie coming to the plate. He'll lead off for the Birds. And he shows bunt. He does bunt, but it fouls it off. And it did hit him while he was in the batter's box, so that's a foul. Reimold on deck, then Blake Davis for the Orioles here in the 5th inning. The Orioles have had their leadoff man twice. Each time it was a double, and each time they scored. Hardy in the 1st and Markakis in the 4th.
Really, it's amazing when you get a well-pitched game how a couple of runs can really look large on the scoreboard. Making it look easy so far.
There's the 1-1 foul back. PA popped up to second base his first at bat. And another pop up. Marson back of the plate. Flips the helmet, flips the mask, and he has it. And PA is retired for the out. And one away here in the Oriole 5th inning. Well, Nolan Reimold last night came up and he hit a home run, his 5th on the year. And for Nolan Reimold, he's a player that with more playing time you would like to think would really add to that home run total. But he's got an interesting streak going. And again, this is infrequent playing time, but all 5 of his home runs have been hit here at Camden Yards. The previous 4 prior to last night came against left-handed pitching, so he finally broke that streak by hitting against a righty. And he takes a strike. But because of his power potential, he's a very intriguing player for Buck Showalter.
Yeah, he really is making a comeback. I think a lot of people would like to see him get more playing time. He's played against lefties and righties.
Big bouncer to third, but right to Chisenhall. And he fires across to get Nolan Reimold and 2 men down. Well, the Orioles in the month of July, it has been a tough month. .232 batting average, 3.5 runs per game, and that's pretty hard to do when you're 3rd in the league in home runs in the month with 17. But 4 stolen bases, and that ERA is last at 7.64. Orioles have lost 9 in a row in 14 of their last 15 games. Showalter trying to get anything positive going. Here's Blake Davis, 2 outs, nobody on, takes a strike.
Yeah, the goal right now is really to win 1 in a row.
Right. Win tonight and worry about a streak tomorrow.
He does really need this starting rotation to settle in and to pitch consistently well.
And a foul back, and it's 0-2. We believe reinforcements are on their way, as Rakabaka reported on our website, MassetSports.com. Both Matt Angle, an outfielder who would make his major league debut, and Troy Patton have left AAA Norfolk and are en route here from Atlanta. So if they are activated for tomorrow's game, it would be a 2-for-2 move. As Davis fouls it off, Simone will go on the restricted list, so we know there will be that roster spot available. There's also the possibility, Buck Showalter said before the game today, of Vladimir Guerrero going on the disabled list because of the hand problem after being hit by the pitch.
Yeah, it really is a roster in flux. I know Buck talked about it a lot. Again, the Gonzalez and Gregg suspensions, are they going to be adjusted? When do you take them?
Weak ground ball towards shortstop as Drupal Cabrera will get it to first to get Davis, and a 3-up, 3-down inning for Carlos Carrasco. We're through 5 at Camden Yards. Orioles holding on to a 2-0 lead. fired to Simone and hit the moving target as Simone got to the bag to complete the double play. Coors Light Freeze Cam brought to you by Frost Brewed Coors Light.
Well, through 5, Alfredo Simone has faced the minimum. He faced 15. He allowed to single to Brantley and then got that great double play within a couple of pitches. So he's pitched pretty much this entire game from the windup.
Yeah, that's right. One batter from the stretch. 4 strikeouts, no walks, and just 1 hit. There's a roller up the third base side. And Simone picks it up, and there's an infield hit. He realized letting it roll foul was a moot point because it stayed on the grass, so Austin Kearns has a swinging bunt single.
I thought he should have let it roll it a little bit more. See if it would catch that edge of that grass. And looks like it's not. Well, that's about your only chance once that ball hugged the line. Had hit written all over it.
Second base hit for the Indians. Second time a leadoff base hit. And here's Lou Marson, the number 8 batter, the catcher, who flied out his first at bat. Breaking balls outside, 1-0 on Marson. The Indians are 5-0 against the Orioles this year. They swept the 3-game series in Cleveland in April, and they've won the first 2 games in this series. Manny Acta has his team playing very good baseball. First chasing Austin Kearns. Indians 1 game ahead of the Tigers for first place in the Central. And they are 2 up in the loss column. And there's a strike taken by Marson. There are really 4 of the 5 teams realistically in contention in the Central, because even though Minnesota is 7 below 500 in 4th place, they're only 7 games out. So if they can continue just chipping away and staying in it, they'd have a chance.
And over the last 10 games, they're playing better than anybody in the division. They're 7-3. They really have made a remarkable turnaround from an awful start by the Twins.
Orioles still will visit Minnesota. They have a 4-game series there coming up in August. And the NL Central also has 4 teams in the race because there's a tie for first, Pittsburgh and St. Louis. The Brewers are half out. Cincinnati's 3 games out. Breaking ball too tight, 2-2. And I guess in the AL West, really, it's a Texas Angels race. Seattle now 7 below. They're 9.5 out.
Yeah, both Texas and the Angels playing great ball here. Rangers with 1-9-0. I think they've thrown 3 straight shutouts.
The Orioles will finally see the Angels next weekend here at Camden Yards. The only team they haven't played yet. And too tight with a fastball to run the count full. Marson with a good at bat. Simone on the year in his 8 games averaged 3.5 walks per 9 innings. 10 walks in his 26 innings. And that's right about where he's at for his career. 3.5 per 9 innings. 3-2 on Marson with 1 on and none down. Runner goes. Pitch is taken high. Ball 4. So 2 reach to begin the 6th inning. Tying runs are on for the Indians. A Birdland tradition will return on Friday as the first 25,000 fans 21 and over receive the O's camouflage floppy hat presented by Miller Lite. Don't miss this annual fan favorite as the Birds host the Angels at 7:05. Get your tickets in advance and save by calling 888-848-BIRD or visit Orioles.com. So the first time a runner to second base, Simone and Wieters have to change the signs. And the Orioles now will look for a ground ball to turn 2 and try to short circuit this rally. Tying runs are on with nobody down in the 6th. Rookie Ezekiel Carrera will bat. He takes high. The Orioles are respecting a possible sacrifice here. So Reynolds up tight. Lee was close. Now he backs up a step. And he does bunt, and it's a foul ball. Leaders picked it up, made sure it stayed foul.
Remember, he's the type of player that Ezekiel Carrera is. He was in the Mariner organization. He was voted best strike zone discipline and fastest runner in the Mariners organization. So he can do the little things. Had seasons where he stole 27 bases, 28 bases in the minor leagues, always hitting right around 300.
And this year for AAA Columbus, he had 35 steals in 39 attempts before being called up. So he's literally an extra set of legs on this team. Kearns at second, Marson at first, none down. Swings away, and Derek Lee robs of tags the base. No other play. Derek Lee, outstanding play, took an extra base hit away from Ezekiel Carrera. The runners do advance, but one down.
Well, I know Buck Showalter talks about the range that Derek Lee has, especially going towards the line. He can play well off the line. That is a bullet headed for the corner. Turns a sure double into an out.
And he took the sure out instead of trying to throw from his knees to get the runner at second base. One down, second and third for Michael Brantley. Breaking ball for a strike. This would be a good spot if Simone could do it to get a strikeout. He has 4 on the night.
They'll play back up the middle. They'll concede the run to the middle for the out, but you're right. As a pitcher, this is where you go for the strikeout.
Showalter, John Russell on the bench. And a liner to right field. That's a base hit, and it's going to tie the game. Here's Kearns to score. Marson behind him, and Brantley hits to second base with a 2-run double. So the Indians have rallied back to tie it. It's a 2-2 game in the 6th.
A swinging bunt and a walk created all this problem. Breaking ball, 78-mile-an-hour breaking ball, clean double down the right field line. No doubt about it, but what got him in this trouble, again, that swinging bunt by Kearns and a walk.
So a 2-2 game as the Orioles scored twice against Carrasco. And here's Rick Adair out for a visit, 16th double for Brantley. But the Orioles have not had a lot of chances against Carrasco. They have 4 hits, and the one out the play at the plate that Derek Lee was gunned down on Reynolds' double.
So back even again, much like last night, which was back and forth all night long. For the Indian bullpen really took over late.
Brantley in scoring position, representing the go-ahead run for Asdrubal Cabrera, who has batted .341 with runners in scoring position on the year. And a high fly ball to center field. Jones back on it, still going back at the wall, reaches up and makes the catch. He appeared to have it all the way, but it kept on carrying. And Jones went as far as he could to grab it for the out.
I don't really think he saw this ball until it got well up. And tracks it well, gets ready, times his short leap. Yeah, I don't think he saw the ball until it got up around the third deck.
Brantley tagged and went to third. Good base running for him. And Simone now needs to get an out and avoid what has hurt the Orioles all season, 2-out runs.
Up against a hitter that's had a great season with runners in scoring position and great numbers against the Orioles. We'll see how they play if they pitch Hafner carefully. Santana on deck has had all kinds of trouble with runners in scoring position.
Simone comes right at him with a strike.
Yeah, straight a splitter, straight changeup. He had a steady dive at that last time for the strikeout. Hafner taking his time getting back in the box. He's getting your guests together. And
a high fly ball to right, playable for Markakis. And he'll put it away for the final out. But the Indians rally, an infield hit, a walk, and a 2-run double. Bottom of the 6th coming up in a 2-2 game. Baseball discussion, and as Alfredo Simon came off the field, Rick Adair, the pitching coach, met him on the bench and talking it over as Alfredo is through 6 innings. And now a tie game at 2-2. Here's Hardy leading off against Carrasco, and he takes inside. So Carrasco, who has been equally stingy, now back in the game. J.J. doubled and scored in the first, struck out in the third. A high fly ball to right field, playable for Austin Kearns. He'll put it away for the first out in the 6th inning. Time now for our AT&T Mobility Trivia Fact. Fact number 1, Roberto Alomar retired with a .300 career batting average. Exactly 300. He is one of 10 Major League Baseball players with at least 3,000 plate appearances to finish right at 300. And a week from tomorrow, he will be a Hall of Famer. Hall of Fame inductions next Sunday as he and Burt Blyleven and Pat Gillick will be enshrined at Cooperstown.
Should be a great day.
And tonight in Minnesota, Burt Blyleven's number is being retired in honor of his Hall of Fame election.
Very deserving. Took Burt a long time to get in. He was a great pitcher.
Keiko's high foul out of play. Norfolk tonight is at Gwinnett, and a 2-0 lead in the 5th. And Brian Mattis making the start for the Tides. And he has gone 4 1/3 scoreless on just 1 hit, 4 strikeouts, no walks. And more importantly, Mike, through 4 1/3, he has thrown a total of 44 pitches and 30 are strikes. So a solid outing so far tonight for Brian Mattis. And Markakis gets into one to right field. Back it goes, and the ball is gone. And the Orioles get the lead back at 3-2. There's number 8 for Markakis, a 2-hit night, and the Birds are back on top.
Eighth home run of the season for Markakis. Again, he has been red hot and consistent. 0-2 pitch. Low middle of the plate, a slider. Big time mistake by Carrasco, but give Markakis credit for being ready. It's a low line drive.
Picks up his 39th RBI, and here's Adam Jones, who is 0 for 1 as a sac fly and an RBI. Adam is 6th sacrifice fly on the year. And fouls it straight back. That is the 11th home run allowed by Carrasco. He had Allowed 5 at home and 5 on the road, so now 6 on the road, and that is the 8th for the left-handed batter. Markakis on 2110 Utah Street hits it out to the fans in the 2110 section. And it's getting their T-shirts tonight out there.
I'm sure he'll get a nice ovation when he heads out to right field the next half inning.
So Simone did not allow the Indians to get the lead as he stranded Brantley at third, and the Orioles come right back for him. 0-2 on Adam Jones. And that's outside. He doesn't chase. Adam now has 4 RBIs in the series. And a chopper slowly at the short. Cabrera charges, throws on the run, and he got a nice stretch by Carlos Santana at first base. And 2 down in the Orioles 6th. Tonight's minor league report brought to you by PNC for the achiever in you. And how about Ryan Adams at AAA Norfolk, batting at .296 with an on-base percentage at .377, has a home run, 5 doubles, and 7 RBIs. So a good month for Ryan Adams at AAA. Of course, he was with the Orioles for a brief time, didn't get a lot of playing time, and now he understands what it's all about up here.
And once you get a taste, you understand a lot more what it takes to be an everyday player.
Wieters looks over ball 1. That is flied out and grounded out. And he takes low ball 2. Wieters has a 2-game hitting streak going. He's been very consistent over the last 10 days, batting a .306 in that stretch. Swing and a miss, 2-1. And when you consider the amount of time he has spent behind the plate this year, it's pretty remarkable how well he's hit. Because he spent so much time and effort calling games and catching and working with the pitching staff. And then, oh, by the way, you get your 4 at-bats.
Catch a number of different style of pitchers, it seems like every night.
Jim Presley works with him on his swing from both sides of the plate. All 3. When you think of the amount of work that he does before the game even starts, video work, looking at the opposing hitters, that helps his pitcher out. Then the cage work, where mechanically they work on the swing, but from both sides of the plate.
But do it twice as much, right?
And then batting practice. 3-1, good cut, and he fouled it back. And then, oh, by the way, go play 9 innings.
Go catch 9 with a number of different pitchers. I mean, if there's new players in the opposition, lineup being called up in the minor leagues, you have to know, what the scouting report is and how to pitch those players. There really is a lot to digest. Certainly for a major league switch hitting catcher.
Good to be 25. 3-2 is bounced towards first. That is a foul ball.
Eddie Murray used to talk about that being a switch hitter. Everybody thinks it's such a great advantage to be a switch hitter. But he said you have to really maintain your swing from both sides of the plate, and you have to keep your average pretty similar. Otherwise, the opposition will keep putting you on the weak side.
Usually teams like the switch hitters to bat right-handed because they bat right-handed so infrequently versus the left side. And there is ball 4 as Wieters works a 2-out walk. And that is the first walk allowed by Carrasco. And Brian Roberts has talked quite a bit about that, batting from each side of the plate. Roberto Alomar was probably one of the best at it, in terms of what you're talking about, the consistency from each side. Plus, Roberto not only was a good bunter, he used it as a weapon.
He was a great bunter.
Here's a weak ground ball to short. Cabrera for the out, and the inning ends. So a 2-out walk at a Van Lev, but Nick Markakis, 1 out in the 6th. His home run to the bleachers in right field, his 8th home run. The Orioles have the lead.
for the Indians. They had a 2-run 6th inning. The big base hits, but Markakis would come back and answer and give the Orioles back the lead in the bottom of the 6th. The seesaw affair again. Alfredo Simon faced a minimum through 5. Outstanding start so far. Derek Lee 2-out RBI single in the 4th, and Markakis a double, and also that solo home run to give the Orioles lead.
And here's Carlos Santana leading off for the Tribe in the 7th. Chisenhall and Orlando Cabrera will follow. Simone gets ahead of him 0-1. Santana's grounded out and popped up to 3rd. And that one's down and in.
Great job by Simone to get out of that 6th inning. Gave up the 2 runs and had to go through Cabrera and Hafner, who have really killed the Orioles this series.
He has been tremendously pitch efficient. 2-1 outside. And through 6 innings, the last Oriole starter to go at least 6 innings was Mitch Atkins in his debut for the Orioles on July the 5th in Texas. That was the middle game of that 3-game series. And a tapper foul. So that's 7 games ago plus tonight.
Yeah. Alfredo Simon has pitched as deep as 7 2/3 innings. He did it back in 2008 versus Tampa Bay.
Two and 2 on Carlos Santana. And he got him. It looked like the splitter, Mike, because it fell underneath the swing of Santana. There's his 5th strikeout, 1 away.
Well, we were saying at the beginning of the show, the big pitch is going to be against these left-handed hitters, that split finger fastball. Watch the bottom fall out. Excellent pitch. And that's the pitch that's really kept these left-handers under control tonight. Very effective to Hafner, Santana, and Cabrera.
Chisenhall swings through it, nothing in 1. Chisenhall is 0 for 2 on the night. And he pops it up. Reynolds crossing into foul ground, and in the coach's box has it for the out. So Simone gets 2 quick outs here in the 7th inning. Tonight's Suzuki game flow. Auto's all-wheel drive lineup. Suzuki, the power of engineering. And the flow of this game has been about the pitching. Alfredo Simon has allowed 2 runs on 3 hits, and his counterpart on the other side, Carlos Carrasco, has kept the Indians in the game, because even though the Orioles do have 5 hits, they have just 3 runs. So a 3-2 game in the 7th. Orlando Cabrera takes high. Michael Gonzalez beginning to get loose.
Just 75 pitches thrown by Simone.
Cabrera swings through the breaking ball.
Just great stuff. He's had it all. The splitter, the breaking ball, and the 94, 95 mile an hour fastball.
Good take outside, appeal at first. He did not swing. Of course, Conroy said so. Fouls off the curveball. Again, 2 and 2. Cabrera lined out to center field. It was an easy play for Jones, and he has struck out. 3-2 Oriole lead in the 7th. Rocket towards the gap in left center field, but PA gets there, and he has it for the out, and Simone has a 3-up, 3-down 7th inning. 7th inning stretch brought to you by Jack Daniel's Tennessee Honey. Fly straight, drink responsibly. And welcome back to our broadcast booth. Jim Hunter and Mike Flanagan. The Orioles were desperate for somebody to go out there and, as Buck Showalter said, seize the moment. Simone unfortunately leaves the team after tonight, but he's done that for the club.
Yeah, really waiting for someone to step up, and Simone has done that tonight. You could see from the first inning he had good stuff. He's maintained it through the beginning of the game. He didn't crack the one inning he was under pressure, and again, that's exactly what Buck Showalter was looking for.
And Mike, we're seeing a crispness of the Orioles here tonight. They're getting the clutch base hits. They lost the lead. It was 2-0, and the Indians tied it. They come right back, but a little bit more spring in their step, and I think in relation to Simone pitching so well.
You're exactly right. When they score a couple of runs early like they have tonight, and they really kind of manufactured those runs. They weren't the long ball and something really extravagant, and they've been able to add the one more with Markakis' homer. How 3 runs can sound like a lot.
So the Orioles are trying to snap their 9-game losing streak. Starters haven't won in 15 consecutive games. And for Simone, his longest outing since September 23rd of 2008, when he went 7 2/3 against Tampa Bay. And as Mike mentioned, that is his career high. So we'll see if he's allowed to come out and pitch the 8th inning. That's up to the skipper, Buck Showalter. And here's Mark Reynolds leading off, and nearly came into the booth as Mike Flanagan almost had his first souvenir of the year.
Yeah, this is true. Well, I guess if you count spring training. I had a couple in spring training come whizzing by my coconut.
Oh, and 1 on Reynolds. And he swings through the breaking ball, and it's 0-2. Foul ball. Well, that might be the answer to our question. There's Koji Uehara getting loose. Setup man.
I would think Koji is up and in. You can almost tell Alfredo Simon some relief that the night is over. Relaxing in the dugout. And I'm sure Buck Showalter having that conversation with him about his evening and how well he pitched.
John Russell, the bench coach, with Buck Showalter. 1-2 on Reynolds, leading off in the Orioles 7th. And called strike 3. The breaking ball came down on the inside corner. Nice pitch by Carrasco, and 1 away. And strikeout number 4 for Carrasco.
Yeah, second time he gets Reynolds on a 1-2 pitch. Late breaking slider, one of those front door sliders, kind of at the hitter and then over the inside part of the plate. First called third strike out of the 4 strikeouts.
Rafael Perez is getting loose for the Indians. Here's Felix PA and a bouncer foul behind Wayne Kirby. So Simone is through 7 innings. The last time an Orioles starter went 7 innings was Jeremy Guthrie, July the 1st, in a loss in Atlanta, when Jeremy went 7 innings in that game. The last time an Orioles starter went more than 7 innings was May 14th, when Brad Bergeson pitched the shutout at Tampa Bay. Now, part of that is managers / pitching coach decisions of taking pitchers out, but most of that has been ineffectiveness to be able to get that deep into a game. PA takes outside 1-2. But if you're handing, the way the modern clubs are set up with a setup man and a closer, if you're handing your bullpen a lead in the 8th inning, you did your job.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Here's the 1-2 to PA. Check swing. No call at the plate. And he went, and now PA doesn't run, and now he does run. Now that is a situation where you don't wait to see what the call is. You just take off, and if it's a check swing, then you don't have to worry about it.
Well, I think it's a smart move by the Indians on this play because they don't ask yet. Watch them go get the ball first, and then they'll ask. And by then it's way too late. As soon as that gets away, you should probably head on down to first base.
Well, that is a mistake by PA there. You run and you worry about it later. Here's Reimold with 2 down after back-to-back strikeouts. Fastball's high, 1-0. Nolan has struck out and grounded out to third. And a bouncer foul. Reimold trying to extend the hitting streak to 3 straight. He's at a 294 clip over his last 5 games. Facing the 24-year-old Carlos Carrasco. And a good eye takes low, 2-1.
Yeah, Carrasco living up to the billing too. We're told that he had outstanding young arm. Also that he pitched extremely well on the road. He's only allowed 3 runs and 5 hits.
And a foul off the mask of Marson, 2-2. And you never know, maybe the All-Star break was exactly what he needed, because he worked last Sunday against Toronto. He pitched the final game before the break, and he was lit up. He only lasted 3 innings and allowed 5 runs on 7 hits to the Blue Jays. That was in a loss. It was Belcher's pitching coach, and in his last 4 starts, he had pitched to a 1-3 record. So maybe that extra day of rest helped him out.
Maybe he needed to get on the road and pitch.
Good point.
Yeah. He won in Arizona. He won at Yankee Stadium. He's pitched the gem, 7 innings, 5 hits, didn't allow an earned run.
3-2 is inside, ball 4. Nolan Reimold works a 2-out walk. Fans, Oriole Park is the perfect setting for your next group outing. Gather up your family, friends, co-workers, and colleagues and enjoy a fun-filled night of Orioles baseball with discounted ticket prices for groups as small as 15 fans or party facilities to fit groups up to 1,000. Camden Yards can make your group outing an experience you'll never forget. For all the details, 888-848-BIRD or Orioles.com/groups. Nick Davis fouls it off. Blake is 0 for 2 on the night. Checking out Willie Randolph, who is flashing a series of signs. Reimold is a good base runner. We'll see if Buck Showalter might do a little hit and run here in the 7th inning with 2 men down. He does not run, and it's inside. A ball and a strike on Davis. Carrasco signed with the Phillies when he was 16 years old. Began working his way through their system before he was traded to the Indians. Off-speed pitch, swung on and missed.
A straight changeup.
Willie Randolph relaying the signs to Reimold at first and Davis at the plate. A lot of strategy normally on a 1-2 pitch. Reimold does not go, and swing and a miss. So Blake Davis down on strikes. Carrasco strikes out the side. A walk of Mad Luck will head to the 8th. 3-2 O's. says. Coverage on MASN 2 HD begins at 1 o'clock with those extra presented by Verizon 4G LTE, followed by game coverage at 1:30 on MASN 2 HD and on WJZ. We've got all the access you need right here on MASN. Koji Uehara comes on to work the 8th.
And that will come out of the bullpen. Worked a couple of innings in last night's game. Struck out 3, no runs, 3 hits in his last 10 innings. And he has been on one marvelous roll out of the bullpen. All kinds of strikeouts, rarely a walk. That fastball splitter combination. Going back since May 8th. 30 innings of work, just 4 earned runs. ERA has whittled down from 3.86 to 1.93. It has the best strikeout to walk ratio, 55 strikeouts, 8 walks among all relievers.
Well, Koji, who has been so consistent on the year, will go against Grady Sizemore, who will pinch hit for Austin Kearns. So Manny Acta countering the move, and he'll send the left-handed bat of Sizemore up. Lou Marson is on deck, and then Ezekiel Carrera's spot. So the bullpen has to get 6 outs and protect the 1-run lead. Koji has worked 42 innings on the year. That is the 7th most of any reliever in the American League. He gets ahead 0-2, and he resides in a bullpen that has the pitcher who has pitched the most innings of any relief pitcher in the American League, and that's Jim Johnson, who has worked 54 1/3. That's more than any other reliever.
It really hasn't mattered if you're a left-handed hitter or a right-handed hitter with Koji. Lefties are 12 for 77. That's a 156 average. Right-handed hitters, 11 for 70. A 157 average.
There's a liner to center field. Jones is there, reaches up, and he makes the grab. Oh, that is the hardest baseball to play. That one right at you, maybe knuckling at him, who knows, but it sailed on him and he grabbed it for the out.
Yeah, the hardest one to judge is that low line drive, and this ball is well struck. Really well, very athletic play by Adam.
That was the had it all the way smile.
Yeah. And I'm glad I caught it.
And we're going to get another pinch hitter as Laporta will come off the bench. Santana's already in the game playing first base, so he'll go behind the plate as Laporta will pinch hit for the catcher Marson. So what Manny Acta's looking for here is a possible long ball. There's a 6-man bench. You may as well use it. Porter started the first 2 games in this series. Swings at a high fastball, and it's 0-1.
Koji adding a little extra, a little hop on the end after he lets it go.
The 0-1 is ripped down the line, but foul. Just a loud strike. He will flip it in the crowd. And the fan finally gets it. How many teams do you think are calling Andy McPhail about this guy?
Well, there's not a lot. There's something wrong with the phone.
0-2 is outside. We'll chase the splitter. Koji, one of 9 men in the bullpen tonight. The 1-2 is outside. One of those listed in the bullpen, Brad Bergeson, but Showalter announced before the game, will be the pitcher who makes the start on Monday. It was the TBA start. So since we're beyond the point where a long man was needed tonight, technically now it's an 8-man bullpen with Bergeson scheduled to go on Monday, and Koji Uehara gets the strikeout, 2 men down. So speaking of starters, what are they doing now? As Brian Mattis, since his demotion going into his start tonight, 0-2 with a 3.94 ERA at AAA Norfolk, but he's pitching very well tonight for the Tides against Gwinnett. Tillman, since his demotion, 3-2 with a 4.12 ERA, and Brad Bergeson, since coming back from AAA, no decisions, a 6.60 ERA, working out of the bullpen. And there's a strike taken by Ezekiel Carrera.
Yeah, it looks like Bergeson will get another chance to start on Monday, as you said. As they try to piece back together this rotation.
And then a bunt attempt, it's fouled. Here's the 0-2 on Carrera. Check swing, he went too far. Wieters finds the ball, and he'll get it to first base. So there's Koji Uehara. A 3-up, 3-down inning, 2 by strikeout. Bottom of the 8th coming up. Orioles looking for some insurance. $265 walks for a total of $13,250. Care First Blue Cross Blue Shield encourages each of us to take that first step towards a healthier and more active lifestyle. Now, no pitcher comes on. The left-hander Rafael Perez, who is outstanding and devastating against left-handed pitching or left-handed batters, pitching from the left side. So he relieves Carlos Carrasco, who goes 7 innings, allowed 3 runs on 5 hits. 3 defensive changes as well. There's Grady Sizemore in center field. He pinch hit for Austin Kearns. That forces the center fielder, Ezekiel Carrera, to move from center field to right field in Kearns' spot. Matt Laporta, who pinch hit for the catcher, is in the game at first base. And Carlos Santana, who was at first base, moves back behind the plate.
On to catch Perez. Perez, who pitched in last night's game, came on and faced Felix Pie in the 6th inning of that game. Retired Pie, now here to hold it as is as he goes through the top of the Oriole lineup.
And Hardy takes low, 1-0.
Straight changeup, fastball, pretty good slider. 3 pitches that Rafael Perez uses.
So the Orioles are 3 outs away from snapping their 9-game losing streak. They'd like to get some insurance. There's a strike taken on the outside corner.
The Indian pen has been on fire. Second best by earned run average. Over the last 10 innings, they have not allowed a base hit or a run. 5 walks and struck out 15 in that time.
1-1 on Hardy, who's 1 out of 3. Bouncer towards short. There's Cabrera. Gets his counterpart. and one away here in the 8th inning. Well, tonight's Cold Hard Blast is brought to you by Frost Brewed Coors Light. And then let's go back to the 6th inning. It was a 2-2 game after the Indians had tied it in the top of the 6th. And then Nick Markakis with the Cold Hard Blast. He hits it out, his 8th home run. And that gave the Orioles their 3-2 lead they enjoy here in the 8th inning. Markakis with a 2-for-3 night, his 30th multi-hit game, so he takes the team lead back in the multi-hit games, one more than Adam Jones. And he takes low, 1-0. Time for you to text in your vote for the AT&T Player of the Game. How about Simone, 7 strong innings, or Markakis, the tie-breaking home run, or Michael Brantley, who's had a couple of hits and 2 RBIs for Cleveland? Text in now, have your voice heard, A, B, or C to 51862. I know who will win that.
Think? You're good.
Well, I better start texting.
You don't have to worry about any competition for me.
Okay. Cleveland bullpen is second in the American League. Their combined ERA is 3.10. Only Oakland has a lower ERA at 3.03. 2-0 on Markakis, batting with 1 out, nobody on in the 8th. Taken all the way, there's a strike. $23,835 on hand on this Saturday night. Nice crowd. That's going to be a base hit towards left center field. They weren't playing him that way. Sizemore running it down. Markakis is hustling, and he'll have a 1-out double. And that's why Nick Markakis is such a good hitter, because he'll use the whole field, and he'll hit it where you pitch it. They were playing on the pole, and he didn't pull.
That's why it's so difficult to defend, and this more like the Markakis we're used to. A couple doubles and a home run tonight. And every time he's going to that exaggerated choke, looks like a little heavier bat. A lot of line drives off the bat of Markakis.
That is a huge run out there if the Orioles can get him in. Make it a little easier for Kevin Gregg in the 9th. Here's Adam Jones, who has an RBI. Sac fly in the 1st inning. He has since grounded out twice. So Perez, who is so tough against lefties, gives up the double to Markakis. And a strike call. That one had to have crossed from the outer part of the plate to the inner part of the plate where Santana caught it. Line drive to right field. That's going to be a base hit. It gets down. Carrera plays it against the wall. Markakis to score. Jones to second with an RBI double. A huge insurance run for the Orioles in the 8th.
A couple of great at-bats by Markakis and now by Adam Jones. Breaking ball up and out over the plate. Adam goes right with it. A tremendous at-bat.
17th double on the year and his 13th multi-RBI game, a team lead. Here is Manny Acta coming out. Somewhat disappointed as this 3-2 game is now a 4-2 game. And he's going to make a pitching change with Matt Wieters due to bat. So Frank Herman will come on. Orioles have a run in. Jones at second, 1 down in the 8th. in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Orioles. A huge add-on run for the Orioles here in the 8th. They have scored now single runs in the 1st, 4th, 6th, and 8th. And here's Frank Herman on for the try.
Yeah, 20th appearance on the year for Frank Herman, who has been up and down with the Indians. Broke with the Major League Cup out of spring training, back and forth to the minor leagues in Columbus 3 different times. But last time up towards the end of May, he has really pitched well. Since May 29th, he's allowed just 3 runs, 2 earned in the last 21 and a third innings out of the bullpen. It's an 0.93 ERA. Another member of this Cleveland Indian bullpen that's functioning extremely well at the moment.
Adam Jones at second. His RBI double has made it a 4-2 game. Scoring position with 1 down for Matt Wieters. A bluff to throw back to second base as Cabrera snuck in behind Adam Jones. Wieters has flied out, grounded out, and walked. Inside ball 1. Indians 1 out of 4 on the night. Runners in scoring position. Orioles are 2 for 5. Jones working on the bubble gum out there at second base. Again, Herman turns and looks him back. If you worry too much about keeping him close, you may make a mistake to Wieters.
Absolutely.
Well, I don't think there's any way Jones is going to try to steal third here. But really what he's trying to cut down is the secondary lead. Good cut. 1-1 on Wieters.
Well, what Adams is trying to do is be able to score on a single and score easily.
Getting into it. One on Wieters. Herman really taking his time. This is inside ball 2.
He wanted that pitch, a little bit on the inside part of the plate. Herman's from Rutherford, New Jersey. And at Harvard University, played a couple of sports. Pretty good athlete.
So that's where Vinny should be from. 2-1 is outside ball 3. Watching as Drupal Cabrera keeps sneaking in behind Adam Jones. They came up in the Mariners organization. Wieters will be walked intentionally at the exact same time. They both began their career in 2003, so they know each other from the Seattle minor leagues. Don't miss your chance to meet Orioles outfielder Robert Andino next Friday at the Orioles official team store. That's at the York Galleria Mall in York, Pennsylvania. Robert will be there from 11 until noon. He'll sign autographs and meet and greet the fans. That's Friday at the Orioles team store in York. For all the details on all the Orioles community appearances, visit OriolesReach.com. Here's Derek Lee, now with 2 on and 1 out. Down and in, 1-0. Jones at second, Wieters at first. Derek Lee 1 out of 3 with a RBI single. That came in the 4th inning. The time made it a 2-0 Orioles lead. And he popped him up. Really got that pitch riding in on Derek Lee, and first baseman Laporta has it for the out, 2 down.
Late running fastball in on the hands of Derek Lee. Got a Greg more than ready from lot of standing and waiting for this inning to be completed. Does have that extra run to work with. Anything else would be a bonus.
So Mark Reynolds will try to come through a 2-out base hit. Eric Lee delivered a 2-out run-scoring single in the 4th. A 2-run lead is good. A 3-run lead is a lot better for closing. And it's low. Nice block by Santana. Reynolds 1 out of 3 on the night. He snapped an 0 for 9 in this series with that 4th inning double. He is 4 for his last 31 over his last 9 games, including tonight. So you can see in this 9-game losing streak, Mike, there's a lot of those types of things happening at the same time. Several hitters have cooled off, so the run support is down, while the pitching has been inconsistent up until tonight. Good eye by Reynolds, takes ball 2.
Well, that's been the problem. You're not getting, as we talked about, quality starting pitching to run deep into ball games, and it compounds effect. You drag down your bullpen, your offense gets worn out and worn down from being behind so often and having to score, look for multiple run innings, draining on both fronts.
2-0 as Reynolds takes all the way, and there's a strike. The Indians in the 9th against Greg will have the top of the order coming up for Manny Acta. Michael Brantley, Asdrubal Cabrera, and then Travis Hafner. Two on, 2 out, 2-1 on Reynolds. And again, Herman very concerned with Adam Jones. An infielder did not even break to cover there, and yet Herman turned and looked him back.
Well, what he's hoping is to catch the Orioles running and maybe get a cheap out and not have to throw another pitch to the plate. That's what you're. Sometimes I'd rather throw to any base but home.
And there's a strike, 2-2. At second, Wieters at first with 2 down, a run in for a 4-2 Orioles lead. Frank Herman trying to get the final out here in the 8th inning. And it's high, ball 3. Well, now Herman doesn't have to guess because he knows they'll be running. Reynolds has worked the count full 3-2.
He may just try that move again.
Belcher on the phone to the bullpen, but Showalter looking at his team 3 outs away from a win. The runners go, and the 3-2 is outside, ball 4. So the bases are loaded. And 2 down in the 8th inning. There's nobody getting loose in the Indians' bullpen. Belcher, as you saw, was on the phone to get some activity going, but we now see scrambling, but it certainly won't be in time to face Pia, even with Santana out there trying to stall. There is Tony Sipp, the other left-hander in the bullpen.
Yeah, it looks like Herman will certainly go through Felix Pia at this point. I think what they're Indians are afraid of is a base hit here. You better have somebody ready before it gets out of hand if it's not already.
Jones, Wieters, and Reynolds third to first with PA facing Herman. 2 outs in the 8th. First ball swinging, fouls it off. The Indians expect PA to hit it the opposite way. See their defense. Sizemore shading towards left center. And Brantley a step or two closer towards the line and left. And a ground ball, base hit the other way down the line. Here's Jones to score. Wieters to score. Reynolds to third. And Felix PA with a 2-run double and huge insurance runs for the Orioles.
Well, PA just slashes this ball down the left field line. Fastball away. See the Indians playing well off the line. Jones certainly appreciates the extra run. It's been a while since the Orioles have had this kind of lead late. 6th double of the year for PA.
So PA picks up RBIs number 6 and 7. Here's Reimold. Outside, 1-0. This is the 8th Oriole to bat in this 8th inning. So the Orioles, who have been hurt by 2-out runs all year, Buck Showalter sees his team come through here with a big 2-out base hit to add to the lead. And a tie again, ball 2. PA really had been struggling at the plate, comes through with a huge base hit. He was just 1 for his last 19 prior to that double. Ball 3. And even though Kevin Gregg is loose to come in the game, it's no longer a safe situation. And the Orioles are okay with that. There's a strike. Reimold took all the way.
Buck Showalter said it before. It's a win situation.
Right.
You need to get a win in the books.
Yeah, see, I'm into the win thing, not the save thing necessarily. 3-1 on Reimold, 2nd and 3rd and 2 down. That was a real good pitch. Ate him up inside.
There's no question about Herman's stop. He just painted himself in the corner with some walks. A big walk by Mark Reynolds. Really backed him into the corner where he had to throw strikes to PA.
Full count on Reimold. And he foul tipped it. Foul tip. Yep. The home plate umpire Brian Knight saying foul. That time, everyone reacted as they should. They didn't assume it was going to be a foul. Reimold started running until he saw Knight put his hands up.
Yeah, I'm not sure he foul tipped that ball at all. I know him and the pitchers keeps talking to the home plate umpire Brian Knight, and he just missed it. I think that ball cut late. Maybe get a second chance.
3-2 with 2 down. And a looper towards left field. Brantley on the run, and he'll get there for the out. Well, the Orioles send 8 to the plate, score 3 huge insurance runs. PA's 2-run double adding to the lead. Is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Southwest Airlines new Rapid Rewards, unlimited reward seats, and no blackout dates. And by Land Rover. What a lovely night downtown. Saturday night, and the Orioles enjoying that line score, 6-8-0, 2-3-0. Here's Kevin Gregg on for now the non-save.
37th appearance of the year for Kevin Gregg, 15 out of 19 in save opportunities. This is not a save opportunity. Worked in Game 1 of the series, came in really get an inning of work. Gave up a couple of hits, no runs, and a strikeout against the Indians in that first game of the series.
Brantley is 2 for 3, including a 2-run double. The Indians in this game have only 3 base hits. That's how effective Alfredo Simon was tonight, because we told you earlier about that stretch the Orioles have been in. 10 consecutive games coming into tonight, they had allowed 10 or more hits. And for a total in this game of just 3, what a turnaround.
Yeah, one of the hits, that swinging bunt by Austin Kearns. That's really if Uncle Brantley taking a night off, made a shot at a no-hitter. Brantley had a single and a double. And they really did scratch out a couple of runs against Simon. Retired the first 9 in an order. Did a terrific job.
Yeah, it's almost unfair to say he had the one bad inning, because the swinging bunt was a big play, and that was a great pitch. There's the 0-2 to Brantley outside,
and it's little things. You know, it was the Derek Lee play at first base, making a great play in the ground ball down the line that may have led to a couple of runs in a big inning. So it's, Simon's pitching. It's been Lee's defense. Been timely 2-out hitting. All the ingredients have been right.
Well, there's one of the 3 they need. Strikeout called. Brantley doesn't think so, but he's out 1 away.
With the 1-2 pitch, see the target from Wieters and right to the glove.
Well, that's a great pitch. Here's an update on the voting for the AT&T Player of the Game, and wow, Simon is beating Markakis. I'm wrong, Mike. That rarely happens. Text in your vote now and have your voice heard. A, B, or C to 51862. Tom and Rick will have the results coming up on O's Extra Post.
A newfound appreciation for pitching. I think that is the theme of tonight. The importance of starting pitching.
And he deserves the fans' vote. I was just certain Markakis would run away with it. There's a quick 1-1 on Asdrubal Cabrera. I should have texted more during commercials.
I would say, it's hard for you to do everything.
There's 1-1 that's low. See, and you were laying in the weeds there. You knew Simon was going to get a lot of support.
I know the appreciation for pitching is out there.
Outside ball 3. Kevin Gregg will have to eventually serve his suspension, but because he's appealed, he can continue playing until the appeal is heard. There's the 3-1. It's high ball 4 and a 1-out walk. And Buck Showalter said before the game that he expects that will have to be in New York City, so they'll have to make some kind of arrangements for Kevin to get to New York City. Follow the Orioles with the MLB.com At Bat 2011 app for your iPhone, your iPad, Android, or BlackBerry. With score, stats, highlights, live audio, pitch-by-pitch tracking, interactive maps of Oriole Park, and more. You can even check in at Oriole home games for the chance to win prizes, including upgraded seats. Text At Bat to 31826 or visit Orioles.com for complete details. It's outside a Hafner 1-0. So I guess if the hearing does have to be held in person in New York, Gregg might have to go up there on the day off on Thursday.
May have to.
Hop on a train, go have the hearing, and hope to get that suspension reduced from 4 games. Michael Gonzalez is in the same situation. There is a pitch low, ball 2. So after a walk to Cabrera, 2-0 on Hafner.
Looks like Matt Wieters has come out and just gave him a little break. Let's get back into the strike zone.
After facing Gregg, certainly a home run threat, but that hit by P.A. has made it a 4-run advantage. should. Down by 4.
Well, that's the thing. When Greg was up and ready in the bullpen, it was a 1-run game, a 3-2 game. It's been a long wait coming here for the 9th.
Breaking ball for a strike, 2-2.
He just doesn't change. He just doesn't give in. It doesn't matter the score. He's going to pitch the way he pitches. Pitches to the corner. Stays out of the middle of the plate.
Just outside. After walking Cabrera, he's 3-2 on Hafner.
Jim Palmer has talked about it, that he is really Don Stanhouse with better stuff.
Living on the edge.
Living right on the black. It's black or a ball, inside and out.
He's allergic to the middle of the plate. 3-2 is outside, ball 4, and back-to-back walks with 1 down. And the Indians, knowing they need base runners, are patiently allowing those pitches to sail off the plate. The key man now is on deck. That's the potential tying run. There's Carlos Santana. Even if he hits it out, the Orioles would still have the lead.
But I think what it is that, Buck Showalter now knows how Kevin Gregg works. I mean, he is going to be working both sides of the plate, the corners, and if he walks you, he's going to do the same to the next hitter. He's not going to change philosophy and all of a sudden throw a fastball down the middle here because he's walked 2. He's going to stay right on that outside corner.
He did work an inning in the first game on Thursday. Did not allow a run, but he did allow a couple of hits.
He allowed base hits to Hafner and Sizemore.
Ball 2 low. But if he can't retire Santana, it becomes a different story because then the tying run comes up. Showalter on the bench. Rick Adair is heading for the mound for a visit.
Well, you start playing scoreboard math. If Santana goes deep, you're still leading 6-5. And if you walk Santana, then the tying run comes to the plate. That's what the situation you really want to stay away from.
So what is this conversation like? Is he asking Wieters what's working? What do you think?
No, I think
Matt first.
I do think it's more coaxing. It's just making him aware of the score, that it's 6-2, and maybe shoot a little bit more for the plate. Let's get the next 2 hitters out. Nothing very positive. Stay away from that another walk creeping into your mindset.
And he went right at him, and Santana fouled it back.
Well, that was, again, more of the plate. You could see right there. So that was the adjustment.
Your point is right on the money because the man who can hurt you is on deck. So somehow you try to get Santana out. There's a strike.
Not giving in, even though it's 2-1. And as you talked about, this is the way he pitches. 2-1 breaking ball. And a beauty.
2-0 to 2-2. Inside, ball 3.
I thought he was going to come up with the right arm. Ball looked like it was headed for the inside corner.
Brian Knight's had a real good night behind the plate. 3-2. And he walked him on a check swing. So Gregg has walked the bases loaded to allow the tying run to come to the plate.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that pitch. 3-2 breaking ball. But again, if you talk to Kevin Gregg, he's just not going to give in. He'll shoot for the corner, and that'll get the bullpen up and busy.
Michael Gonzalez, who already has been up once in this game. Lonnie Chisenhall, the third baseman. And a strike taken on 1.
Another breaking ball.
Cabrera, Hafner, Santana, third to first. Chisenhall facing Gregg. It's fouled out of play, and it's 0-2. Mike, you can feel an uneasiness around the ballpark.
Yeah, again, playing the scoreboard math. There is that certainly a possibility now, representing a tying run at the plate. This time, the difference is he is quickly ahead. Now he's got 3 shots at the corner.
The 0-2 is just inside, 1-2. Orioles looking for a ground ball to try to turn 2. And he got him. Swings through strike 3 and 2 men are down. So the rookie goes down on strikes.
I think he was totally baffled what was going to be coming next from Kevin Gregg. He adds a little bit extra to the outside corner after all those breaking balls. Well, they said, I'm not going to, no chance to see a fastball in this situation. Gets one and throws it right by him.
Orlando Cabrera will come up against Gregg, and the fans are coming to their feet. Cabrera is the 6th Indian to come up this inning, and there has not yet been a ball put in play. 2 strikeouts and 3 walks. And it's outside, 1-0. Cabrera's 0 for 3 on the night. There's a strike. We sat down with Kevin in Texas for a pregame interview and asked him about this style, and he said, it might look like I don't know what I'm doing, but this is how I pitch. And a swing and a miss at the breaking ball. As long as he's not getting rattled, there are men all over the place.
He's used to doing this. The rest of us are nervous wrecks. But he knows what he's doing. He knows his plan, and he sticks to his plan.
What does Cates call him? Captain Chaos, right? 1-2 on Cabrera. Out of play.
Hey, it was the point with Don Stanhouse that Earl Weaver couldn't watch. He'd go down the tunnel and he'd say, let me know what happened, or go by the roar or the groan of the crowd. Kevin Gregg can get you in those type of situations.
Down holding 1-2 on Orlando Cabrera. 2 down in the 9th. Bases loaded on 3 consecutive walks. Long looking for a sign.
Sure. Orlando Gonzalez at the plate Cabrera has no idea what is coming.
1-2 to count. And a line drive right center field. Adam Jones on the run. He's not going to get it. It gets down for a base hit. 1 run is in. 2 runs are in. Here comes a 3rd run towards the plate. And the tying run is at second with 2 down in the 9th. Cabrera on a 1-2 pitch comes through. A bases clearing double.
Now the 3 walks will come around to score. Now a decision really for Buck Showalter. Left-handed hitter Grady Sizemore.
And we will get a pitching change as Buck Showalter comes out, and we'll get Gonzalez to face Sizemore. So the 2 out runs come back to hurt Gregg and the Orioles here. And it'll be up to Gregg coming on to face Sizemore. Gregg leaves, Gonzalez coming on in the 9th.
Game one of the series, pitched in the 8th. Real clean inning. So on here with the left-handed Sizemore at the plate.
Cabrera at second with 2 down. And that's tying away 1-0. And Grady Sizemore last night started in center field. And he got into one against Jake Arrieta and hit it out into the bleachers for a home run. There's a 2-run shot in the 5th inning. And a tie ball 2. Gonzalez has had 3 consecutive scoreless appearances, including his 2/3 of an inning at Boston on Sunday before he was ejected. He had struck out back-to-back batters before throwing the pitch behind David Ortiz. Ground ball to first. There's Derek Lee. He'll go to the base, touch it up, and the Orioles hold on and win to snap the losing streak. As Michael Gonzalez comes on to earn the save, and a hug for Matt Wieters. So everyone can exhale. Cleveland needed 4, they got 3, and the Orioles have won.